following program may contain coarse language, violence, nudity, mature subject matter, or scenes which may not be suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome to the X Zone, everyone. I am Rob McConnell, coming to you from our broadcast center in our studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. If you'd like to send me an email, xzoneradiotv.com, on all social media sites, Xzone Radio TV. And we're coming to you tonight on the Talkstar Radio Network, Mutual Broadcast Network, Simul TV, and of course the X Zone Broadcast Network on Simul TV. It's channel 34. My first guest tonight is Mr. Stevie Frayne, and he is a psychic out of London, England. Stevie is a natural-born psychic with many years' experience as a psychic and a medium, working all over the United Kingdom, Spain, and Ireland. Stevie reads for people from all over the world. In addition, Stevie is the master psychic for Crystal Clear Psychic and runs Crystal Clear Psychic Training Academy. Joining us now from London, England is Psychic Stevie. And Psychic Stevie, welcome to the X Zone. Thanks very much for joining us tonight, Stevie.
I hope everyone who's listening is doing really well tonight.
So tell us, Stevie, how did you get started as a psychic?
It started about 20 years ago, kind of professionally. It's always been with me, but through life events and people passing, I sort of was searching for a different way of life. Ended up at a spiritualist church, which ironically I now run. And it sort of all went from there. I developed my gifts, sat in a circle, did a couple of workshops, and it all sort of came flooding in. I've never really sort of worked it. It's always been there. I guess I always pushed it to the back of my mind, but it just sort of came flooding out in around 2004. And then I moved on to doing various things. I spent 8 years on psychic television. I did the radio show Let's Get Psychic, did lots of platform work. And now I'm busy recruiting for the Mind, Body and Spirit show, which is one of the largest festivals in Europe. That's on the 26th of May to the 29th of May. I work for Crystal Clear Psychics, running their training academy. I recruit and train all their psychics, and I also have my private clients as well. So life is busy, but it's always fun.
What's a spiritualist church?
Well, we're now a recognized religion in the United Kingdom, and it's where we do spiritual events. We have services with platform mediums, we have healing circles and all them sorts of things. So it's all good. It's just a place where people can come from any faith and just sit in a relaxed atmosphere and do spiritual things.
Such as?
Well, they can join a healing circle, they can get healing, they can come to our weekly service where we have a different medium every week. We do various summer fairs and Christmas fairs where they can get tarot readings, numerology, astrological readings. So it's basically like a church with a spiritual edge.
In your opinion, Stevie, after all these years that you've been working as a psychic, what is your definition of a psychic?
A psychic is someone who can tune into your vibration and I would say give you advice and guidance that perhaps makes sense to you, something that perhaps you already know or have thought about. You just want confirmation. And it's someone who just has an extra sense and can sense what's going on in your life, really. It's that simple.
Now, how did you first discover or become aware of the gifts that you have now?
Well, it started when I was little. I used to say things and people would say, "Who told you that?" And I'd say, "Oh, such and such." And they'd say, "No, they're not here." And then I could always look at people and sense auras. I would always know if someone was going to get pregnant. On that note, big shout out to my niece Ali, who's just had twins, which I
Oh,
predicted.
congratulations, Jay.
And she's doing absolutely fine. But yeah, I've always been aware to look at people and know certain things and feel certain things. So it's just kind of developed from there, really. It's always been with me. I believe possibly it came from my Irish side. Well, both my parents are Irish, but I believe my grandmother was intuitive, but it was kept under wraps back then. But I think that's where it came from.
You know, these are crazy times, Stevie, whether you're in the United Kingdom, the United States, Canada, or anywhere. The world is crazy. How can we better adapt to this changing world, and what should we all do in order to try and bring it back to some sort of sanity?
I think that is an excellent question because there's so much going on in the world and so many people sort of doing the wrong thing in the wrong vibration. And we're all here for a purpose. And I believe our purpose is not to create war, shoot people, or create havoc. Our purpose is to live our best lives and just, you can't control everything that happens in life. You can't like everyone that you meet in life, but you can send everyone love and get everyone sort of thinking of the spiritual message of life. And when you think of the spirit world where you'll sit for eternity, the life is only such a short period of time. And I think people get so stressed out about small things that they forget to concentrate on their inner self, their well-being. Maybe a touch of meditation could help, a positive affirmation every day, and accept that you're not perfect, but you can be perfectly happy with who you are.
How has the spirit world changed your life, Stevie?
Oh, immensely. I now have no fear. I don't have any fear of death. I don't worry as much as I used to. I sort of think what will be, will be. And I no longer chase money and things. I chase inner happiness and inner peace. I don't have a huge circle of people around me, but the people that I do have get me, understand me, and they sort of think along the same way as me. It's changed me in so many ways. I could be talking for hours, but the main thing is I've got inner peace, I would say.
How would you describe the spirit world in color?
I think it's the most beautiful, vivid colors you have ever seen. I think everything is in harmony. I believe everything, every person, every animal has their place in the spirit world. And there's no sort of like hierarchy. It's people are at the level that they're meant to be at and they're learning and they're understanding. I just think it would be so beautiful. Imagine Joseph and his amazing colored dream coat, but the colors magnified by 10.
Wow. How does one enhance their spiritual ability? If somebody, psychic ability, I should say, if somebody listening tonight or watching tonight believes that they have a psychic ability, how can they enhance it? How can they know for sure whether they have it or not?
They need to get in a development circle or get some training. They need to learn how to meditate, how to get rid of earthly thoughts and get in touch with their spiritual thoughts. Because I've been saying this for years. If I think about what I'm saying when I'm doing a reading, I generally get it wrong. I have to flow and let it flow because what I'm saying won't often make sense, but it will make sense to the recipient that I'm giving it to. And the main thing is trust in spirit. They won't let you down. They'll give you the right information. We don't always trust ourselves, but you know what? Once we do and trust spirit, it will flow.
Stevie, how important is it to you and other psychics that you keep grounded?
Very important. That's one of the things I teach in my training academy because I recruit a lot of psychics. And although they have psychic ability, they're not necessarily used to working with it on a fast pace. And it's so important that you keep grounded, keep your energy flowing, and keep releasing all the energy, both positive and negative. Because if you have a positive energy and you hold on to it, it'll go stale. You need to keep everything flowing, keep well grounded, work with a cloak of protection around you, and it will flow. It is important, though. That is one of the most important things you can do to keep grounded, because nobody can be tuned into the spirit world 24/7, or you'd be away with the fairies.
Stevie, stand by. You and I have to take our first break. Exonation Psychic Stevie is our special guest all the way in London, England. His website, www.psychicstevie.com, and we'll both be back after this word from our sponsors and the fine people at Beautiful Mind Coffee, www.beautifulmindcoffee.ca.
Question: what is the name of the unique blend of coffee you get that has been formulated by a neurologist, a neurobiologist, and a pharmaceutical chemist? Answer: you get Beautiful Mind Coffee, a unique coffee blend that tastes great and has herbal ingredients that your brain will love, and it is not just coffee, it's brainalicious. Dr. Rathbone, Dr. Jang, and Dr. Winslow, the scientific team that created Beautiful Mind Coffee, decided to collaborate on a coffee focusing on brain health. As for those herbal ingredients found in Beautiful Mind Coffee, Dr. Rathbone, Dr. Jang, and Dr. Winslow, utilizing their combined extensive scientific research background, worked with many natural and herbal products until the exact formulation that is found in Beautiful Mind Coffee was created. With a unique scientific formula not found in any other coffee being sold or served, Beautiful Mind Coffee is the only coffee blend that contains 3 herbal ingredients found to aid in boosting your daily mental clarity and focus. Every cup of Beautiful Mind Coffee contains scientifically formulated amounts of maca root powder, green tea extract, and American ginseng, all supporting good brain health. Taking care of your brain's health now can help delay or prevent the onset of cognitive dysfunction, including dementia, Alzheimer's, and more general memory loss as you get older, just by enjoying the delicious flavor of our roasted coffee and herbal ingredients found exclusively in Beautiful Mind Coffee. Did you know that cognitive dysfunction also refers to deficits in attention, verbal and non-verbal learning, short-term and working memory, visual and auditory processing, problem-solving, processing speed, and motor functioning? For more on Beautiful Mind Coffee, the 3 scientists who formulated Beautiful Mind Coffee, and more details on the 3 unique herbal ingredients in Beautiful Mind Coffee, visit www.beautifulmindcoffee.ca. Beautiful Mind Coffee is now available online at amazon.ca and amazon.com. To order Beautiful Mind Coffee, visit www.beautifulmindcoffee.ca today.
And we're back. Psychic Stevie is our guest, www.psychicstevie.com, and he is in London, England. Psychic Stevie, tell us a little bit about your training academy or psychic academy.
Well, I work for Crystal Clear Psychics. We're one of the premium psychic services in the UK. And the reason I run that is so that the best psychics can get even better, and so that they can get some me time. Because when you're constantly working psychically, it's nice to get something back. So we cover all aspects of psychic work, be it psychic work, mediumship, psychometry. And it's just a chance for some of the people that I employ just to get an hour where we do psychic training, work on their ability, work on their confidence, just look at their aura, see what's going on in the life, discuss their week, how their calls have been, and anything they're not sure about. And as much as I'm the teacher, I also learn so much as well from teaching, because you're never too old to learn something, Rob.
Psychic Stevie, over the last couple of years, the world has faced not only the war in the Ukraine, now in the Sudan, but we also went through COVID. How did these three earth-shaking events change the way or the questions that were being asked by the callers that call you and other medium and psychics around the world?
Well, a lot of people throughout COVID came to me wanting to find a different life purpose, because in effect, a lot of people slowed down with COVID. They had more time to think about themselves, who they were, what they wanted out of life, and they sort of got on that spiritual vibe. I wouldn't say accidentally, but through situations, and they realized there's a better way of living, and they got more work-life balance. They spent more time with their family, with their friends. And again, the United Kingdom, as I'm sure Canada has been so passionate in helping people from Ukraine and other places. And it really brought out the best in people. And I just sort of think now, with all these things going on, like the earthquakes in Syria and Turkey and all these natural disasters and the wildfires in California, we are realizing it's time now to take care of this planet before it's too late, or there will be serious problems, I believe.
What are the top questions that you and other psychics get on your psychic hotlines? Is it love? Is it romance? Is it job? Is it?
It's love and romance. It's also work, career, getting a life balance. I do a lot of spiritual life coaching with my clients, and a lot of people just want to find their life purpose. Some people want to connect with the spirit world and just get that release, because a lot of people feel guilty when someone's passed. Could they have done more? Should they have done more? Could things have been different? But a lot of it is love and life purpose and career. And a lot of people are now realizing that it's better to be doing something that you love than doing something you hate and getting a few extra bucks.
How do the spirits on the other side know that they can communicate through you, Psychic Stevie?
Well, I always tune in before I do mediumship for a couple of minutes. And when I do my stage shows, I have a little ritual. I send up my thoughts to the spirit world, and they're just ready. I sort of open my spiritual door, make sure my spiritual tiger is there for protection so I don't get any unwanted spirits. And then they just seem to flow through. And it's a bit like, I always say, someone puts a tape recorder in my head and presses play. And then I just let the information flow. I don't think about it or change it. I just let it flow.
How important are someone's dreams to them? And how do we manifest the dreams that we all have?
I think dreams are really important. And a lot of people believe in dreams. You're visiting the spirit world. There's no actual proof of that. So I'm open to the idea. But a dream is something subconscious. But a dream doesn't always mean what you would think it would. It's not always the most obvious answer. And a lot of your dreams are depending on what's going on in your life. What are you scared of? What are you insecure about? But if you have a true dream where your mind is completely switched off, you can go to some magical places and see some magical things. And that's how a lot of people get started off psychically, ironically. They have dreams, and they're predictive dreams, because in your dream, you don't think about it, you let it flow. Whereas in their earthly life, they do think about it, so it doesn't flow. So dreams can have many meanings. And I love interpreting dreams, especially when it's relevant to what's going on in the client's life.
How about someone who has many expectations of their life? How should they best manage their expectations?
Very interesting question that. And I would say you've got to work out where the expectations came from. Is it peer pressure? Is it from your parents? Is it from your friends or your circle of friends wanting you to do better or expecting you to do better? But the only person you have got to be better than in life is the person you were yesterday. If you're happy and content in your life, that is worth more than anything else. You should always strive to do a little bit more or be a little bit better, but because it's in your heart's desire, not because society or other people tell you to. There's no right or wrong way to live your life. I don't always get very religious, but I would say to people, focus on yourself and not what other people are doing. As the great book says, judge not lest you be judged.
How true. Would you say that in order to progress in this world of ours and better understand this world, we have to believe in ourselves before we believe in others?
Yeah, absolutely. And that is one of my founding sort of principles or teachings when people say they're looking for love and why can't they attract their soulmate or this mate? And I'll say, in order to attract someone, you've got to love yourself and understand yourself. And yet, we've all got things we'd like to change about ourselves. Yeah, little things here and there. But at the core, you've got to get inside yourself and realize you're here for a purpose and you're never going to be absolutely perfect. And there's always someone who's going to be taller, slimmer, better, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that you're living your best life.
So how do we go forward into the new spirit world? How do we prepare ourselves for better today than we were yesterday and still succeed in the spirit world?
Well, I think preparation is kind of everything. And I would say let go of things. It's so easy to hold on to things, but I would like to give all our listeners and viewers out there today a gift, and that's the present. Yesterday's gone, so it's history. You can't change that, but you can learn from it. And tomorrow isn't guaranteed. So what I would say is follow maybe a bit of the Buddhist philosophy, live for now, enjoy the day, and take the best out of today. Too many people don't enjoy the moment because they're worried about next week, what's going to happen, how they're going to be. Sometimes, as they said in the great film Dead Poets Society, carpe diem, seize the day.
How do we prepare for the next life?
That is, again, a very interesting question. I would say live your best life here. Realize that you're going to make mistakes, but you're here to learn. Try and focus on yourself and what you're doing rather than other people. And don't let anyone tell you you can't do anything, because self-belief can propel you so far. If you believe you can, then you're halfway there. And just know that this life is short, the next life is coming, but in the next life, it all depends on what you do in this life. I would say just do the best you can with an open and honest heart.
As someone who speaks to those on the other side, what is it like? What do they tell you?
They tell me that all their earthly problems have gone. Anyone who's passed with cancer is now healed. Anyone who had Alzheimer's or dementia or memory loss can now remember quite clearly. A lot of people get a shock because it's not quite as they're expecting. But a lot of people tell me everyone lives at peace at their own level. So ironically, you could have had a homeless person last year who passed away, and you had the Queen of England who passed away. They could be sat side by side in the spirit world. So you find your own level according to your soul's purpose.
What's the hardest part about being a psychic in today's society?
The hardest part is when people have expectations of exactly how they want it to be, and you're not seeing it that quite that way. Because when someone starts off a reading with "When will this happen?" I have to gently say to them, "I'll look into it, but I don't remember telling you it would happen. Let's see what will happen." Because a lot of people, they want something so badly, they can't see that there could be something better around the corner.
Psychic Stevie, I want to thank you very much for joining us tonight on X Zone Nation. If you'd like to get more information about Psychic Stevie, please visit his website at www.psychicstevie.com. That's PSYCHICSTEVIE.com. I'll be back on the other side of this break as the X Zone continues right here from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away.
So I was watching the X Zone TV channel last night when I was abducted by aliens, and they kept repeating to me over and over again, simultv.com, simultv.com.
What's simultv.com?
That's what I asked them. They had it written on the side of their UFO.
How do you spell that?
UFO.
No, I mean simultv.com.
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 Right. SIMULTV.com.
Interesting that you were abducted by aliens in a simultv.com UFO last night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I remember now last night I was awakened from a deep sleep. My great-grandmother was standing there. She said she'd come from the hereafter to tell me about simultv.com. She even spelled it out for me.
SIMULTV.com, sonny boy.
SIMULTV.com.
SIMULTV.com, sonny boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, you'll never guess what my psychic guru just told me.
SIMULTV.com.
Exactly. Are you guys psychic too?
Of course.
We all know about simultv.com. SIMULTV.com.